Meanwhile, in Austin, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, James leaves work. It's Friday. He leaves work early to donate the money to Angelica. Not already knowing that Angelica is dead, she dies at 10 o'clock in the morning. But still, he'd sent her the email and he was on his way home. He donated the money and then he's en route to our house. At the same time, what's going on at the local mall is there's a suspect who's been hanging out at the mall for about an hour or more, walking around with really fancy stores. A security officer from one of the really big local department stores is following him around. They have him on all the cameras. They highly suspect credit card fraud, and he is just, wearing this purple shirt. He's got his sunglasses on, and it's hot in Texas, and a business suit. So he does not look like he's in the right place. But he's walking around the mall, and this security officer is following him around for about an hour. Not calling police, nobody's notified, not even security mall. The suspect goes outside with his friend to look for a vehicle because it's very apparent that he wants to steal a vehicle. So he goes to a Range Rover, he sees the Range Rover, tries to steal the Range Rover, unsuccessful. Those are really hard to steal apparently. And then he goes to this Ford silver F-250 and he looks inside and he sees a red flashy purse. And he says, wow, there's a purse in there. So he opens the vehicle and he takes the purse, he opens the purse, finds the keys inside the car. And he's like, wow, this is my lucky day. So he takes the truck. Meanwhile, the security officer's been watching him throughout this entire time. Finally calls Austin Police Department. There's a local unit close to the mall that responds to the call. The security officer is frantic. I think he even gets into his own personal vehicle to chase the suspect, which thankfully, going through the mall, the suspect doesn't see him going behind him in his personal vehicle. Then, as the suspect is leaving the mall, he stops. It's like a two-lane highway divided by a grassy median. And the suspect is stopped at the red light. The officer who responds to the call sees the suspect and goes onto the median and goes right behind him. And the moment that happens, it all happens at the same time. The light turns green, the suspect flees to the shoulder of the road. He starts to drive recklessly at 100 miles an hour. The police officer is following behind him. The cars are, it's kind of a heavy traffic area. There's a lot of cars on the road. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's busy. So finally what happens is the suspect, after running multiple red lights, and the police officer, after following the suspect, his tires flat out, so he can no longer continue the pursuit. He flats out, and within 35 seconds or less, James is literally taking the green light into the intersection. And as he takes the green light, the suspect with the huge bullet, 6,000-pound bullet of a Ford F-250 collides, T-bones James's car. He crashes the car rolls, the impact is all the way, intrusion is all the way to the head of the James's headrest. James is killed instantly, his aorta is ruptured. I got the whole medical report, bilateral rib fractures, bled out. There's just no way he could survive. So then the suspect, of course, which happens commonly, leaves the scene of the crime. The truck is totaled, so no longer this Ford F-250 that was worth $60,000, it's a piece of crap now, and it's crashed into the gas station, almost hits a pump. The suspect gets out and runs to the dollar store. All these innocent people are walking around. There's lots of people outside. They're in shock. Oh my God, they see James dead in the car. And one of them actually came to the viewing and told me the whole story. It was a nightmare. So then the police apprehend the suspect at the dollar store, and it's about, all of this has happened, James is dead, I'm at my friend's house, and I say, wait a minute, it feels like James is supposed to be calling me. I've been talking to my friend. It's now evening time, and I'm like, I haven't heard from James. So immediately I go to my phone feeling like a panic, And I pick up my phone and I thumb through it. I've missed 19 phone calls. All my friends who work in a trauma hospital with me know before I do because they thought that I was working there. They're like, where are you? Call me. I need to talk to you. Are you okay? And immediately I knew something terrible had happened. And so I called my friend who is really good at delivering bad news. And she and I had worked in the ER together. And I say, Chris, what's going on? And she says, James has been in a terrible accident. And I say, well, just tell me he's at Brackenridge, the trauma hospital. And she's like, Esther, James has been in a terrible accident. We go back and forth for like what seems forever. And then all of a sudden I hear screaming. I fall to my knees. I'm completely numb. And I know James is dead, but I just can't accept it. So my beautiful friend Anna, she picks me up, takes me in her car, drives me back home. I come to my home, it's dark. My dogs that James bought me are in the kennels waiting for someone to open the door and take them outside. There's like 10 people in the driveway waiting for me, and I open the door to darkness.